What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. Taking a look at the 30-year Treasury bond. We're still at 4.81. So nothing is changing on that front. For those of you who are new and joining us, um, I've been talking about how we've had 40 years of decreasing yield. So this has been a bull market for the bond market. And each subsequent time, we have been decreasing. Now, what this has done, right, is um, allowed for borrowing to become cheaper. Um, with that being said, though, as the interest rate falls, the price of the asset goes up. And so, what you've seen in specifically the housing market, right, when you're taking out a mortgage loan, prices of homes back in the 80s were, as far as the price of the home, a lot lower. So you'll see something like, yeah, I bought a house for $50,000 or whatever, right? Um, and if you think about it in today's terms, you're like, wow, that's cheap, right? But anyways, the price of the home relative to their income was about 2.5 to 3x. So for the average American making 50 grand a year, it's if the house was priced at about 125 to 150. That's kind of what it would be relative to. Which, if you think about it today, wow, the house is priced at 125, right? That is fantastic. Like, who wouldn't sign up for that? Um, and so you look at the amount of money they're making, right? No wonder you can have a household, right, where there was a single income household where the man would work and, the woman, the wife, would stay behind and take care of the kids. Nowadays, with the price of things, it's nearly impossible, right? The vast majority of people have to have two people working, right? And so, what you see here, though, if you look at any 5 year period and you try to see if it constituted a trend change, what you'll notice is that there isn't, right? When you look at 2020 up until now, we clearly see a trend change and we're going up. And my expectation is that we continue going higher, right? That's my expectation of what's going to come. And so it takes a long time to play out, though. So this is, a long forming thesis that can take years to fully manifest. But when I do believe, though, that once we've been compressing and tightening up right below the 5% mark, and when we do get out of here, it's gonna pop up. What causes that is yet to be seen, right? But um, I'm sure it'll be tied to some event or something, right? That would cause panic in the bond market. And so, yeah, I think with that, you'd see rates on homes also go up. As of now, we've now come down, right? In my last video, it was 6.72, and now it's 6.63. And so, I think it's worth paying close attention. Last time rates were cut from the Fed, it caused a jump in the interest rate. So that's one thing to be monitoring and checking out, because this could, exacerbate um, the already existing high rates. And from my perspective, I'm under the assumption, based on my hypothesis, that the rates will be going higher. Um, while also, and I think this is very interesting, um, there's a lot of changing dynamics, and I think as if this continues up, what you'll see is an increase in major events, right? Things that they'll point to as justification or blame for what's happening. And I do foresee a very volatile environment and markets for the foreseeable future. And so, with that being said, here is the evaluation across the board for markets, right? Comparing the different time periods of where it was very volatile. You had these are infamous for the markets, right? Going to highs and having subsequent crashes. And so I think what you see here is that we're right up against, 1929, 1999. While 1929 does have a much more rapid ascension than today, nevertheless, it still reached those levels. And so I think, like I was saying, I do believe there's going to be a lot of volatile events that will be coming to everyone in the near future. And it bears monitoring what will come, right? I think we're at an interesting point in many markets, right? It's not just for us watching the 30-year and mortgage rates. We're here because the dynamics 5 to 10 years from now, right? You have this older population that are getting to, their upper end of the lifespan. And what's going to happen to those homes that are then either put up for sale or, abandoned, whatever the case may be. There's going to be an influx of homes coming in the next 5 to 10 years due to demographics. How does that impact the markets, right? And so I think there's a lot of things that people need to be paying attention to, and how everything is changing rapidly. So that being said, keep an eye out. I think there's a lot of changes coming. So that being said, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. It's the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you next episode. Have a good one.